Light slices through the canopy. A scatter of blue on the forest floor catches your eye. A bead, a feather, a scrap of cloth, arranged with uncanny care. A male satin bowerbird tilts his head and nudges a feather until it lies just so.
Welcome to Avian Tranquility. I'm Samnang, your nature storyteller. Here, we slow down and follow the quiet lives of remarkable birds, one species, one gentle story at a time.
Listen closely. Watch the way sunlight makes certain blues sing against green. The male moves with purpose, but not haste. There is time in his gestures, a patient arranging that feels almost like conversation with place. The blue stands out because blue is rare in forest light. Males collect it like a painter gathering pigment. Careful, selective, patient. You'll most often find satin bowerbirds in eastern Australia, along patches of forest in Queensland and New South Wales, in rainforests and wet sclerophyll where layered vegetation filters the day into dappled hush. Walk there slowly, and the forest sounds change. Low insect hum, distant frogs, and the occasional borrowed note folded into a male song. Here, two lives thread the same forest, but follow very different crafts. The female builds the nest, tends the eggs, and raises the chick, alone. Watch that work. Material chosen, cup formed, the hush of incubation. The male, he builds a court. Why? To earn a mate. Remarkable. Field notes often report clutch sizes of about insert verified clutch size eggs. Please verify this figure before recording. And nesting choices vary with local conditions. These are details we will confirm in the show notes, because small numbers anchor big stories. Young males begin with curiosity. They follow older birds. They pick up shiny fragments without much idea what they will become. They misplace ornaments and learn by watching and doing. This is practice, season by season. Over months, a novice's scatter becomes geometry, items aligned into avenues, colors clustered, focal points emphasized. Curious. Many of the blues are natural, beetle shells, flower petals, and many are human-made, bottle caps, plastic fragments, ribbon. The bower reads like ordered chaos, shells aligned, caps stacked, feathers tilted to catch a ray. Each object changes how a female perceives the space. What does a borrowed sound do in a song? It adds surprise. It signals skill. It increases complexity. Satin bowerbirds are accomplished mimics. Insect clicks, frog calls, even human-made whines can be woven into a male's performance. The borrowed note is not mimicry for its own sake. It is a layer, a brushstroke that deepens the display. Courtship unfolds like choreography. The male clears the floor, polishes the stage with beak and foot, and then begins a ritual of movement, bobs, wing flicks, a stare that directs the avenue toward the visitor. The female walks the set the way a critic might, pausing, turning her head, deciding. She chooses quietly, often without fanfare, and leaves if the composition fails to move her. There is a temptation to call this aesthetic, and in one sense it's apt. Female preferences nudge males toward certain patterns of color, novelty, and arrangement. But we must be careful not to project human motives. These are evolved behaviors, honed by selection and learning, that nonetheless resonate with something we recognize in ourselves. Care for composition, an eye for contrast, pleasure in pattern. Neighbors keep their distance and their eyes. Bowls of blue are moved, stolen, or repurposed. Avenues are rebuilt. Small dominance disputes are settled without spectacle. Bowls and clearings alter the tiny world around them. They attract insects, gather sunlight where leaves are cleared, and become small micro-habitats on the forest floor. In this way, a bower becomes part of a living patchwork. Watch closely. And yet these rituals exist under pressure. Fragmentation slices forests into smaller pieces. Climate-driven shifts can change when fruits and insects are available. Human litter, while sometimes used as material, can also persist and alter the texture of a site. Despite this, we see adaptation, timing shifts, different materials used, and pockets of forest that continue to nurture these practices. If you want to help, choose small, concrete steps. Support local habitat protection groups. Join citizen science projects that map sightings. When you walk in nature, carry out the litter you find. Reduce single-use plastics that too often become fragments on the forest floor. These actions are small, but in aggregate, they change the story a landscape can tell. One production detail to note. Many reports describe bowers occupying an area roughly, insert verified bower dimensions in meters, across. Please verify this measurement in the field notes. Specific, checked numbers like that help us understand scale. They make the scene physically real in the mind's eye. I still find myself surprised by how deliberate every placement can be. It is easy to think of animals as only reactive, but here is craft and persistence, choices repeated across seasons until a pattern holds. The work is quiet. The work is patient. Think with me for a moment about learning. A young male's early attempts are messy. He learns which blues catch the light, how far apart to place items, which angles make him seem larger or more sudden in motion. This is social learning. Observation, imitation, correction, and time. Nothing is instant. Everything is earned slowly. And the mimicry, that layered soundscape, does something else too. It draws the listener in. When a sound is both familiar and out of place, attention sharpens. The female listens for nuance. She seeks subtleties in timing, novelty, and control. The male's job is to hold that attention long enough for choice to form. In that hush, fragility and hope sit together. These birds are not spectacles to be consumed quickly. They are lives to be respected, observed, and protected. Their craft depends on intact forests, on the rhythms of insect and fruit, and on human choices that shape the margins of their world. If this portrait of a forest artist brought you a moment of calm or a fresh curiosity, please subscribe to Avian Tranquility. Like, share, or pass this episode along to someone who might welcome a quiet escape. Consider supporting habitat protection or joining a local citizen science project. Small acts that ripple outward. Thank you for listening and for caring about lives that often go unseen. Until next time, may you find small pockets of stillness, and may the soft wing beats of nature stay with you wherever you are. In that moment, we see nature's quiet wisdom.